This is the 2023 Honda Civic Sport Touring. You aficionados likely know that means it's the hatchback version. This model comes in Sonic Gray as far as the particular one we're going to look at today here at Holmes Honda. Now, this is not for sale. It actually was purchased by my buddy Andrew, who works here at the dealership. Thanks, Andrew, for loaning me your new car for the day. We're going to see if we can do a front-wheel drive burnout. No, I promise we're really not going to do that. Andrew wouldn't like me anymore. But we're going to talk about if this model is worth the sticker price of $32,500. And obviously, well, being the biggest difference between the sedan and the hatchback is what we have here is going to be cargo capacity. There is a big difference in those numbers. But there's also a difference in the overall starting price. For the sedan, $25,050. For the hatchback, as we have right here, that jumps up by $800 to $25,800. So let's dig in and see exactly what we have. And we'll start out here on the front end. How well can you see after dark? Well, quite well. Everything here on the front end LED. And you notice that kind of flickering effect that you see? That is not something that is happening for real. It's happening because of the shutter speed of my GoPro. Everything LED. The LED headlights, you'll notice these look pretty much like what we have on the all-new 2023 11th generation of the Accord. We'll have the LED daytime running lights. And down here on the lower portion of the bumper with this particular trim level of Sport Touring, the LED fog lights. And a very nice look with a combination between, well, a somewhat slender upper grille and the lower grille. The front spoiler here, everything is going to be in flat black or matte black. That's going to hold up better to damage that could potentially come from rocks and debris and things like that. As we move our way to the side, here's something that's different with the Civic as far as the tires go from the sedan to the hatchback. These tires are a different brand and they are 235 on the width, 40 on the sidewall, and an 18-inch wheel. Supposedly, these tires, and I'm not completely sure, but maybe some additional help within the interior and the vehicle itself will help cut down on road noise. We will have the body colored mirror caps here. That's going to obviously be the Sonic Gray. And then here on the bottom, we're going to have, again, that same look as the front end. It's not gloss black. It does have a little bit of gloss to it, but more of a matte black look to it. We'll also have the turn signal indicator built into the power adjustable but manually folding side view mirrors. They are heated. You can see that blind spot monitoring is built in. That's always a good thing. There is the remote. It's going to have everything you likely expect to see there. Now, it doesn't have remote start, and why would that be? A lot of you probably know the answer to this question, but in case somebody asks in the comments, well, now they don't have to ask. It's because of that third pedal right there, because it's remote start is going to be, or remote start is going to be really more dependent on an automatic transmission as opposed to a manual. Now, this is the hatchback, obviously, so the line's a little more sleek back here, a little bit more of a slope back here on the rear window, leading down to the rear area, kind of a little spoiler built in right there, and a nice look with the tail lights here. We're going to have the exhaust finishers down there and a small diffuser on the rear. Now, this is not going to be a power rear hatch. It is manual, but it is dampened, so that comes up very easily and also just as easy to put back down. As weak as I am, I can put that down one-handed with no problem. Here under the hood is the turbocharged 1.5-liter four-cylinder. It makes 180 horsepower. The torque numbers come in at 177. It's front-wheel drive, and as you already know, mated to a 6-speed manual transmission. Tell me down in the comments section, would you like to see at some point in the future Honda offer an all-wheel drive Civic? And how about those all-important MPGs? 28 miles per gallon city, 37 out on the highway, 31 combined, and 3.2 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And I just showed you something very important here. When the interior is locked, so is the gas door. So we're going to open that up, and then I'm going to show you just so you can see. Vehicle is now locked, and so is that gas door. A nice little feature for those who may wish to know about such a thing, because believe it or not every single vehicle in this day and age has that feature. And now to answer the $1,000,000 question, or maybe I should say the $32,500 question. What is the difference in cargo space between the sedan and this hatchback? Well, the sedan has 14.8 cubic feet of cargo capacity. Here with the hatchback, we're looking at 24.5 cubic feet. And here is a standard feature. I don't know how well I can put this on one-handed. There we go. It's going to be the cargo cover, the retractable shade of a window style cargo cover back here to help conceal things away if you so desire. So that's going to come no matter what. That is a standard feature on these models. I don't think I can lift it up, but underneath the cargo tray and the floor right here, I don't know, let's try it and just see how talented I am. There we go. A spare tire. Yay! No tire repair kit here. That should make a lot of people happy. And just so you can see, if you want to maximize cargo capacity, you're going to come right here, pull on the release, and we can lower, obviously, both sides. My arm isn't quite long enough to reach all the way over there. Just have to take my word, that does fold down. And we'll take a quick look at the door panel here for the rear door. A, well, reasonable size door bin right there. This is not a full-size sedan, obviously, or hatchback. For that matter, it's not a sedan, is it? Boy, I got the correction Nazis going on that one. Somebody might have paused the video and commented before I corrected myself, but there you go. And then the armrest test, actually quite comfortable. You can poke on that and see how comfortable it is, but ultimately put the arm down there and find out that it's even better than you thought. And then we're going to have some gloss black trim throughout the interior in a few different areas. You don't have air conditioning vents on the rear of the center console. I know there are going to be varying opinions about that. I think we're probably okay with that because it's not a large interior, so you should be able to have plenty of airflow into the rear seating area. But you do have dual USB ports. Something I do always wonder about, why do car makers not have 3 back here? Because you have seating for 3 people back here. But when there are not 3 people, well, there's the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. And there is the conventional size sunroof. God forbid I call it a moonroof, because people have lost their minds in the comments section over me saying such a thing. But on the window sticker for this car, that is what it's called. Would you rather see a panoramic moonroof or the conventional size moonroof as we have here, or sunroof in case you're offended? And taking a look in through the passenger side door into the front seat, again, we're gonna have a little bit more space here, not only with the door bin, but with the armrest. It's a little longer, but still just as soft. Give it the armrest test, it feels good. There is the gloss black. I say that it probably won't have any fingerprints on it, because who's gonna put their fingers up there? But somebody already did. That wasn't me, by the way. You will have a power adjustable passenger seat, which means you're also going to have a power adjustable driver's seat. And because this is Andrew's car, obviously we've got some cables here already, but we'll just be nice and not sit on those. But I will give you a good look at the dashboard here. There's more of that gloss black trim that I was telling you about. And let's see, does Andrew have any gloves in his glove box? Nope, not yet, but he might sometime. But there's your glove box in case you were curious about that. A nice shifter. I like that shorter shifter like that. Nice shifter boot. Here on the Sport Touring trim level, you will find wireless charging, a wireless charging pad. Obviously connectivity via USB, a couple of options there. The 12-volt power outlet, cup holders right here, and the center console. A little bit of space in there to store whatever you want, and sunglasses holder. It's right here. And by the way, this moonroof, or sunroof, in case somebody gets annoyed by that, is one touch. So you can open that right here with the button. And then we have the vanity mirror right here. You can see that the wind is wreaking havoc with what hair I have left on my head. And, well, there is how far back the sun visor extends if you need to do that as the passenger, more over there as the driver. Speaking of the driver, let's hop over into the driver's seat and see what the driver is going to find. Obviously, a few more accessories here on the driver's side door. You can control those heated power adjustable side view mirrors. You can lock the windows. You can roll all the windows down right there. And like I said, because you know you have a power passenger seat, well, obviously you're gonna have a power driver's seat, right? And if we're gonna do that front wheel drive burnout, I can turn traction control off right there. A couple of other features there as well. We also have the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. I could really play a prank on Andrew and completely reset everything in here. If I had a hidden camera, we might really do that. but I won't do that. So here we go. We're going to shove in the clutch. We're going to push the button right here, and that 1.5 liter four-cylinder comes to life. So here's what we have. A nice digital instrument cluster. We're not going to make any changes there. I guess I could, because then I'd be pranking Andrew, but then again, he might not like me anymore if I did that. There are your steering wheel mounted controls. You can scroll through all the information on the screen right there to see what's going on with the vehicle, different settings, all that kind of stuff. Control the volume and stations on the radio. There's the control. In fact, let's turn this way. Controls for your headlights, fog lights, blinkers. Probably didn't know that was there, did you? A lot of you don't know about that. At least it seems that way when you're driving. Then the control for your front and rear window wipers. Here is our 9-inch infotainment screen, a very easy system to use. It does have built-in navigation. That's that third thing that people ask me about. They ask about the turn signal indicators built into the side view mirrors, remote start, and does it have built-in navigation? Well, obviously it does. There you go. You can obviously pair your phone, Apple CarPlay, compatibility, all that good stuff is there. And here's something that's interesting. If you were teaching somebody how to drive a manual transmission for the first time, how to drive a stick basically, a long time ago, they might not have always known when they were in reverse. But the cool thing here is that with the rear view cameras, well, it's pretty easy to know. That question will no longer be asked. And here we go with our multi-view rear view camera, nice and clear, nice looking. And that pretty much covers everything as far as the interior goes. We do have heated seats here in the front, heated only. I would love to see the ventilated seats. And then we have our dual zone climate control. But you know what? Since I don't get to do it very often, let's get out on the road and row through some gears. Okay, we're out on the test drive, and I'll tell you what, you just can't have much more fun than you do with a manual transmission. Well, maybe you can, but we won't go there. There's a lot of different ways that question could likely be answered. But I'll tell you what, it's just so nice to drive something where you feel more involved in the driving experience. And for those of you who might wonder, hey Tom, what did you learn to drive a manual transmission in? Ironically, it was a Honda, but it was a 1988 Honda Prelude. I was a teenager when that happened, obviously. I had about 5 minutes worth of training on that. And then I did spend a lot of time. We had a single car driveway back then, backing the car in and out, all that stuff. So for those of you who might say, you know, I've never learned to drive a manual transmission before, I'm afraid to. It's easy. It really is. Once you master first and reverse, the rest is so simple. Just no big deal. But I tell you what, it just gives such a different feeling. I mean, the steering feels tight on this car. I like that. That's one good thing about these Civics. And something else that really adds to the overall driving experience of these Honda Civics, whether it's the sedan or the hatchback, is the fact that the retuned suspension and shocks for 2022, the 11th generation of these cars, just makes it feel so much more planted to the road. It really feels like it's sucking itself down. It's a very interesting experience. I remember the first time I drove an 11th generation, I was very impressed by the overall handling characteristics. So a fun car to drive, technology easy to learn. If you've never had a car like this before, anything that has this type of technology, it's super simple. Comfortable seating. The seats, everything's leather trimmed here, so you do have comfortable leather trimmed seating. Like I said, you've got the heated seats for the driver and the passenger here in the front. Would be nice to see ventilated, but overall, just so much fun to drive. I wish Andrew had a few more miles on here. I might actually attempt that front-wheel drive burnout. And there is what you get with the 2023 Honda Civic Hatchback Sport Touring for that sticker price of $32,500. Tell me what you think about that down in the comments section. Obviously, you get the added bonus of the manual transmission, so there's a big benefit. Tell me about what else you think is here that you like. What else would you like to see that isn't here? I'm always curious to get your feedback. Gotta say a special thanks to my buddy Andrew, who works here at Holmes Honda. Come in and give him some business. If you are in the market and live in the area, tell him that Tom from Vehicle Visionary sent you, because he'll have to give me a big finder's fee for that if you buy a car from him. And gotta say a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about other vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.